All right. Balls deep lotto ticket with my new dog. A few years ago when I filmed with my old dog who's died, Bravey. This is Rangers. Rangers. He's a bigger boy. He was a rescue, an adoption. He's quite a pain in the butt. A lot of work. I used to walk him about 10 times a day, and then he'd come in the house and just fucking pee. Anyhow, I wanted to address. Sorry, getting the lighting right. I wanted to address those games that I picked last week. I tried to pick the Panthers game, and I failed miserably. Now, let me explain first my thoughts on that. What I did with the Panthers and the Falcons, I basically took the Falcons because they were at home and Julio Jones is the best player on the field. I know some things about the Falcons. I know they have one of the worst tackling teams that I've ever seen, ever. Matt Ryan's a good player. Julio's great. They have no running game. They have very little offensive line, and they have no defense. And I know that, and I knew that going in. And I know the Panthers, they're not a very good passing team. Cam Newton can make plays against defenses like Atlanta. They just couldn't tackle him. Every time the Panthers ran a play, it worked against Atlanta for a whole game. And the Falcons turned it over. There was some bad luck. Matt Ryan got hit. Rangers is leaving. He's like a cow. And Panthers D is pretty good. Like, the Panthers D is good enough that it can hang with a lot of teams. I mean, it can. The Panthers, they're not a good team, but they are coming together. And we've all seen teams come together. The New York Giants, the San Francisco Giants. When teams come together at the end and they win it all. I'm not saying the Panthers are going to do that. I totally botched that pick. I went to Reno with my buddy, Bobby Boy. Lost several $100 on the Panthers. I did get Green Bay right, and I did get Pittsburgh right. Now, Green Bay was an easy call. They were at home. Aaron Rodgers did get hurt, and he's a great player, and it sucked. But he went back out there. He's okay. They can shoot that up. They can shoot up your calf. What they can't shoot up is a hyperextended knee. So my biggest wager of the weekend in Reno was the Pittsburgh Steelers, right? And they're up. They start off like shit in the first quarter. Their offense does nothing but an Antonio Brown kickoff return. But the Bengals start turning over, and the reason that I liked Pittsburgh is because Andy Dalton. Andy Dalton isn't very good. He turns it over a lot. And A.J. Green was hurt, and he got hurt even worse. And A.J. Green's kind of like Julio Jones, like he's a game changer. Pittsburgh has their own game changer, LaVeon Bell. Great running back. Reminds me of LT. I know he's good, but I didn't know until this year that LaVeon Bell is maybe the best overall running back in the NFL. He might be. And I'm not a Steelers fan. I'm from Dallas. I went to Pittsburgh, so I bought this shirt because I love Andrew McCutcheon. He's a baller, a straight-up fucking baller, Andrew McCutcheon. Just watching him play is love for the game. Anyhow, I got Steelers right. So they're winning, right? They're 17-7, 20-10. They throw this pass. Le'Veon Bell lines up as a wideout. I believe he cuts over the middle. He catches like a 20-yard pass, and his knee gets blown up, which could have been real dangerous. Luckily, it's just a hyperextended knee. But he could have torn his ACL. He's not going to be able to play this week. You can't shoot up a hyperextended knee. You can't play on it. You just can't. He might have his PCL torn. I don't know. It would suck if that screws up his career. He is a straight-up baller. And going into those games, I was going to take a shot on Pittsburgh at 8-1 to win the AFC. I was like, that's a good pick. They have to beat Cincy, which I thought they would. They're going to probably have to beat New England. They're going to have to beat Baltimore. I think they can win on the road, right? I think they can. And I think Denver could lose. So I thought Pittsburgh would have been a good pick, to win the AFC. I no longer do. You can't lose a player that good. Like, he's half the team. He's the reason I bet on Pittsburgh that game. So anyhow, I got a couple right. I ended up losing a couple $100 on that trip. I threw a couple hundred on NBA, which is just stupid. NBA is blatantly fixed. Like, I've taken a team that was up 8 points with a second left and the other team's fouling. Why are you fouling with 8 seconds? A referee is in jail in the NBA, for God's sake. In jail, right? That Tim Donaghy, whatever his name was. I don't know. He fixed the Kings game. I actually met Shaq and talked to him about it. He came to my company. I was like, Shaq, I got one question. You remember Game 7, I think it was the 0-1 Western Conference Finals? He's like, yeah. He's like, I knew they were going to foul me. I'm like, Shaq, I don't want to ask about you. I want to ask about Kobe. And he just starts laughing. And I'm like, dude, Kobe runs into, Kobe elbows Bibby in the nose, and that's a foul on Bibby. And Shaq just started cracking up. He's like, yeah. And I go, a ref went to jail. He goes, yeah, ref did go to jail. And that's when I realized Shaq is a cool dude. It's the only sports player I've ever met and actually got to talk some sports and make some jokes. I'm like, Shaq. And he starts talking, and I'm rolling my eyes. He's like, wait, let me finish. Don't roll your eyes. Cool dude. Loves life. Anyhow, I think the Cowboys could win the NFC. I don't think they will, but I think they could. Everyone's on Seattle. I understand that. I think it could be Seattle. I think it could be Green Bay. I don't think it could be Detroit. I don't really think it could be Carolina, but you never know. Cam Newton's a playmaker. He's a playmaker. I don't think he's going to get away with it against Seattle. He could get away with it against Dallas, maybe. Dallas is going to beat Detroit, I think. I don't think Detroit's that good, and now Ndamukong Suh is out. That guy's dirty, man. That's a problem. Like, he's got to start. He needs to miss like 2 months. I know he's a good guy off the field. I've heard all the stuff about him, but you can't keep stepping on people, dude. You're like 350 pounds. That's not cool. Be a man. Stop stepping on people. If you're angry, you get to play football. Just tackle them. Don't step on them like a bitch. I'm going to come back later this week with this week's picks. Yesterday I did Texas A&M. It doesn't matter after the fact, right? After the fact, we're all geniuses. I did Texas A&M, and I did Clemson, and then I got Arkansas. So I went 3 for 3 yesterday, $20 each. Probably means today I'm going to go 0 for 3. I'm going to take LSU. I'm going to take LSU to cover the touchdown. We'll see what happens, you know. You never know in these Bowls games, dude. You don't know which teams care, which teams are partying, which team it's the first time they've ever traveled and they went out and just got a bunch of ass. Who knows? So we'll see. Balls Deep Lotto ticket. Little NFL talk for you. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Just kind of a wrap-up, a synopsis of what I got right and wrong last weekend. Obviously, Green Bay was right. That was easy. I got Atlanta wrong. I was horribly wrong on that. That was just stupid. I know they're soft. I know they can't tackle. I know they don't pressure the quarterback. I know they can't cover. I know they have no linebackers. Atlanta stinks. They can't run the ball. They can't protect their quarterback. And I knew that going in. So I'm a stupid idiot. My apologies if you listened to that one. But Pittsburgh won, so did okay. Lost 300. Anyhow, if you have a topic, send me a Twitter at SternRyan, STERN Ryan. I'll talk about pretty much anything, particularly sports, obviously. I'll handicap games. I'm going to get a lot wrong, but I'm at least going to give you reasons, and you can take those into account, you know. Line movement, I'll talk about that next show. Talk about reverse line movement. Anything I've learned. You know, I've been doing this for several years, so anything I've learned, I'd love to talk about. Start a little dialogue on that. Balls Deep Lotto, take it out.